Coco Gauff just landed one of the biggest endorsement deals in tennis history. Mercedes-Benz, the luxury car brand that's been in tennis for decades, just named her their new global brand ambassador. Not just for the US, not just for one campaign, global. And while other players are still fighting for custom outfits from their sponsors, Coco's out here becoming the face of a billion-dollar brand. The announcement dropped, and suddenly everyone's asking the same question. How does a 21-year-old keep winning off the court? Do you think Coco's brand deals are this big because of her tennis success? Or is there something else that makes her so marketable?
We built our legacy on the court.
The Mercedes Cup in Stuttgart.
And now, we add another chapter. To witness greatness. To celebrate role models. To inspire generations. Tennis on the biggest stage. WTA Tour. Driven by Mercedes-Benz. Starting in 2026.
Let's talk about what just happened. Mercedes-Benz, one of the most prestigious car brands in the world, announced that Coco Gauff is now their global brand ambassador. Not a regional ambassador. Not a partnership for one event. Global. That means Coco's face is going to be on Mercedes campaigns all over the world. From North America to Europe to Asia. Everywhere Mercedes sells cars, Coco's going to be representing them. And that's a massive deal. Mercedes isn't new to tennis. They've been involved in the sport for years. They've partnered with Roger Federer, Sloane Stephens, and several major tournaments. But naming Coco as their global face is different. Because they're not just partnering with a player. They're aligning their entire brand with someone who represents the future. And that's exactly what Coco is. She's young, she's dominant, she's influential, and she's got the kind of cultural impact that most athletes never reach. Christina Schenk, Vice President of Digital and Communications at Mercedes-Benz, said Coco is an exceptional athletic talent who's focused, resilient, and unafraid to lead. She said, as Mercedes embarks on an exciting new chapter in tennis, Coco's impact both on and off the court makes her an outstanding ambassador. And honestly, she's right. Because Coco's not just a tennis player. She's a brand. She's a movement. She's someone who connects with people in a way that goes beyond sports. And Coco's response to the deal was perfect. She said tennis has always been about more than just winning for her. It's about growth, passion, and determination. And that's why this partnership with Mercedes feels special. Because they share the same drive and belief in pushing boundaries. That's not just a generic quote. That's Coco understanding exactly what makes her marketable. She's not just selling cars, she's selling a lifestyle, a mindset, and Mercedes knows that. Now, let's talk about why this deal is so significant. Mercedes is focusing heavily on their EQ electric vehicle lineup. They're shifting toward luxury electric cars, and they need someone who appeals to younger, environmentally conscious buyers. And Coco fits that perfectly. She's young, she's tech-savvy, she's socially aware, she talks about sustainability, she cares about making a difference. And that's exactly the audience Mercedes is trying to reach. But this isn't Coco's first major brand deal. Not even close. She's already got partnerships with New Balance, Barilla, Rolex, Bose, Head, Baker Tilly, UPS, American Eagle, and Naked Juice, where she actually holds equity. She's not just getting paid, she owns part of the company. That's smart business. And on top of all that, she runs her own company, Coco Gauff Enterprises, and she's invested in the Women's Basketball League unrivaled. So yeah, Coco's not just playing tennis. She's building an empire. Let's compare this to other tennis players for a second. Because while Coco's stacking endorsements and becoming the face of global brands, some players are still begging their sponsors for custom outfits. We've all heard the stories about players complaining that they can't get the same treatment as others. But Coco doesn't have that problem. Because brands don't just want to sponsor her. They want to build their entire marketing strategy around her. That's the difference. And here's the thing. Coco's only 21. She's ranked third in the world right now. She's won the US Open, the French Open, and multiple other titles. But she's still at the beginning of her career. She's got another decade, maybe more, of playing at the top level. And Mercedes knows that. They're not just investing in who Coco is now. They're investing in who she's going to be for the next 10 or 15 years. That's a long-term play. And it's a smart one. Mercedes has a long history in tennis. But let's be honest, Roger Federer's retired. The sport needed a new face, someone who could carry the torch into the next generation. And Mercedes chose Coco, not because she's the highest-ranked player, not because she's won the most Grand Slams, but because she's the most influential. She's the one who moves culture, she's the one who connects with fans on a deeper level, and that's what brands want. Now, some people might say Coco's getting all these deals because she's American. And yeah, being from the US helps. The American market is huge. But that's not the whole story, because Coco's appeal isn't just in America. She's popular all over the world. She's got fans in Europe, Asia, Africa, everywhere. And that's because she's authentic. She's relatable. She speaks multiple languages. She talks about issues that matter to young people. She's not just another athlete, she's a voice. And Mercedes recognizes that. They know that when they put Coco in their campaigns, they're not just reaching tennis fans. They're reaching young people who care about sustainability, diversity, and social justice. People who want to buy from brands that align with their values. And Coco embodies all of that. She's everything Mercedes wants their brand to represent. And that's why this partnership makes perfect sense. Let's also talk about the timing. This deal comes right as Coco's entering the 2026 season ranked third in the world. She's coming off a French Open win. She's healthy, she's confident, and she's ready to dominate. Mercedes is launching this partnership at the perfect time. Because when Coco starts winning again, and she will, Mercedes is gonna be right there with her. Every time she lifts a trophy, Mercedes gets the spotlight. That's genius marketing. And the campaign rollout is gonna be huge. Mercedes said they'll introduce the first phase of assets featuring Coco in the coming months, timed around the sport's peak summer calendar. That means we're going to see Coco in Mercedes ads during Wimbledon, the US Open. All the major tournaments, she's going to be everywhere. And that kind of exposure is priceless. Not just for Mercedes, but for Coco too. Because every time someone sees her in a Mercedes ad, they're reminded of who she is and what she represents. Now, let's talk about what this means for women's tennis. Because this deal is proof that women's tennis is growing. Viewership is up. Sponsor interest is up. Young people are tuning in. And brands are starting to realize that investing in women's sports is smart business. Coco's deal with Mercedes is one of the biggest endorsements a female tennis player has landed in recent years. And it's setting a new standard. Other brands are going to see this and think, we need to get in on this. And that's good for everyone. But here's where the sarcasm kicks in. While Coco's becoming the global face of Mercedes, some players are still complaining about not getting enough attention. They're still acting like the world owes them something just because they've been around longer. But that's not how it works. Brands don't care about seniority. They care about impact. They care about who's moving the needle. And right now that's Coco. Not because she's lucky, but because she's earned it. Coco's also smart about how she handles her brand. She's not just taking every deal that comes her way. She's selective. She picks partnerships that make sense, that align with her values, that feel authentic. And that's why her endorsements work. When you see Coco in a Mercedes ad, it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural, because she actually cares about what she's promoting, and people can tell the difference. Compare that to some athletes who'll endorse anything for a paycheck. They'll sell products they don't use. They'll promote brands they don't believe in, and people see right through it. But Coco's different. Every brand she partners with feels like a natural fit. New Balance makes sense because she's an athlete. Rolex makes sense because she's elegant and timeless. Barilla makes sense because she's talked about food and family. And Mercedes makes sense because she's focused on excellence and innovation. And let's not forget, Coco's not just an athlete. She's an activist. She's spoken out about racial justice, gun violence, and other social issues. She's used her platform to make a difference. And that matters to brands. Because companies don't just want athletes who can play. They want athletes who stand for something, who inspire people, who make the world a little better. And Coco does all of that. Mercedes is also betting on the fact that Coco's going to keep winning. And honestly, that's a safe bet. She's already won multiple Grand Slams. She's ranked third in the world. She's still improving. And she's got the kind of work ethic that separates good players from great ones. So yeah, Mercedes is getting someone who's going to keep delivering on the court. And every time she wins, their investment looks smarter. But this deal also puts pressure on Coco. Because now she's not just representing herself. She's representing Mercedes. She's representing every brand she's partnered with. And if she starts losing, or if she gets caught in a scandal, all of that goes away. But here's the thing. Coco's smart. She's careful. She's disciplined. She's not going to mess this up. She knows what's at stake. and she's going to protect her brand at all costs. Now, let's talk about what this means for other players. Because Coco's success is raising the bar. Other players are looking at what she's doing and thinking, I need to step up my game. They're realizing that it's not enough to just be good at tennis. You have to be marketable. You have to connect with people. You have to stand for something. And not everyone can do that. But the ones who can are going to thrive. And honestly, that's a good thing. Because it pushes everyone to be better. It forces players to think about their brand. To think about how they present themselves. To think about what they want to be known for. And the players who figure that out are the ones who are going to get the big deals. The ones who don't are going to be left behind. Coco's also benefiting from perfect timing. Women's sports are having a moment right now. Viewership is up across the board. Attendance is up. Sponsorships are up. And Coco's right at the center of it all. She's riding the wave. And she's riding it better than anyone else. Because she's not just a great player. She's a cultural icon. And that's what separates her from everyone else. Mercedes is also smart for getting in early. Because Coco's only going to get bigger. She's going to win more Grand Slams. She's going to break more records. She's going to become one of the greatest players of all time. And when that happens, Mercedes is going to be able to say, we were there from the beginning. That's priceless brand equity. But let's also acknowledge something. Coco's success isn't just about talent. It's about strategy. She's got a great team around her. She's got smart agents. She's making smart business decisions. She's building a brand that's going to last long after she retires from tennis. And that's rare. Most athletes don't think that far ahead. But Coco does. And that's why she's already ahead of the game. And here's the funny part. While Coco's becoming the face of Mercedes, some players are still arguing about who deserves more credit. They're still stuck in the past, complaining about not getting enough attention. But Coco's not worried about any of that. She's too busy building her empire. She's too busy signing deals. She's too busy winning. And that's exactly how you stay on top. So, yeah, Coco Gauff is now the global face of Mercedes-Benz. And it's not surprising. She's earned it. She's worked for it. She's built a brand that's bigger than tennis. And Mercedes recognized that. They saw what everyone else is starting to see. Coco's not just the future of tennis. She's the future of sports marketing. And anyone who doesn't see that is already behind. Coco Gauff just became the global face of Mercedes-Benz. And it's proof that she's not just dominating on the court, she's dominating off it too. While other players are still figuring out how to get custom outfits, Coco's building an empire. If you want more updates on Coco and the biggest moves in sports marketing, hit that like button and subscribe. This is just the beginning.